Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Kharis Kurian, and I'm here with Mayor Eva Fipps of Henderson, Iowa.
Hi
And
guys.
hey, all right. Yeah, she is the mayor of Henderson, Iowa, and she's here today on a podcast. All right. First off, let's start simple. What should people know about you? Where you're from, what you're studying, what your days look right now? Who is Eva Fipps?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, my name is Eva Fipps. I'm the current mayor of Henderson, Iowa. I am a full-time student with Western Governors University. I went back to school for my bachelor's degree in business management. I currently have an
Oh.
associate's in uh, applied science. My day job is I work for an outreach program through the Omaha schools. We work with at-risk kids. That's what I'm doing every day from about 12:30 to 7. It's pretty great. I love my kids. They're amazing.
Oh, no, that's really, really great. As mayor, like you're taking the opportunity to just really lean into the community and like really help that. And I think that's great. I think that's what a lot of our politicians today really need is to be involved in the community. Yeah. So, so you kind of already talked about this, about how you are like involved in like the community, and how you're helping the kids. So I want to hear more on that. So like, when you're not being mayor, like what are you doing? So you've talked about how you've been helpful in like with setting up with the kids, and I think that's great. But like, what would you say like as you as a college student, you're not that far off from age of me. I'm 17. So like, what does a normal weekend look like for you?
So I do online college. It's self-paced, which means I can work on it whenever, wherever, however I want to. So
Hmm.
I try and just squeeze that in whenever possible. Most mornings I try to go down to City Hall, see if there's anything they need me to do, say hi to people, just
Hmm.
chat and be with my people. And then I do go to my day job until about 7-ish, depending on the
Oh.
day. And then after that, I go to it's the John Paul Newman Second Center in Omaha.
Hmm.
It's a college student area where people can go to meet other college students working
Oh.
there. There's a library, all of that. I do
Mm.
some different clubs and activities with them, but my day is
Oh.
pretty packed from sunrise to sundown.
Yeah, that sounds like a really packed day. Yeah, and having that space, you as an online student, you have that space to meet with college students, and that's so cool. Like, that's really really cool. I like that, and just yeah, it's really really cool to see get to like you're young, but you're in office, but you're still a young person. You're not like old. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So going off of that, I know. I can tell you, but you're really big on like community, and I think that is very admirable. I'm admirable about you. So I guess kind of going off of that, who or what shaped your values growing up? So like family, school, mentors, or moments that like shaped you.
There were a lot of different things growing up. I
Mhm.
big thanks to my parents. They raised me to the best of their abilities. They raised me to give the shirt off my back and help as many people as I can. They raised me to stand up for myself and others, and I wouldn't be
Mhm.
who I am without them. My mom, dad, and stepdad, they're all amazing. I love them. They were a huge part of my life. But I also had so many different friends and families that helped get me to where I am. Um, I have brothers and sister-in-laws that have really pushed me to be the best I can be. Also showed me that we don't take anything from anybody. They're very much to pedal to the metal.
Oh
The
yeah.
opportunities I've had with the Girls State and working at the Iowa House of
Mm.
Representatives as a page have definitely shaped my political side of my life. But other than that, it's just a whole hodgepodge of everyone from parents and teachers to friends and family, all of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can definitely relate to that. A lot of people have shaped my life. You know, my parents for sure, definitely very supportive. Teachers too. I go to a pretty small school in North Carolina. And funny enough, I'm also going to be a page for the governor's program, but pretty soon. Yeah, this
Oh, I
end of the year. So that's going to be really I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, it's really glad that stuff like Girl State and like all that stuff that's really shaped you and who you are. And yeah, I really see that you're like, having all these opportunities like really like like help you like grow.
I am
Yeah.
so happy you get to be in your state's version of the PAGE program. It is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to it. I have to miss a little bit of a trip that my school has, but like
Yeah.
I mean it's a governor's page program, I can't turn down that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so going off of your political background and how you've served in girl state, and I'm also trying to be boy state this year. We'll see how that goes. Uh yeah, and then also the page program. Looking forward to that. I want to like kind of go off of that. How did you first get interested in civic leadership? Was there a moment where like public service like clicked for you?
I have always done a lot of like volunteer service, being part of
Mhm.
my community. That was a huge part of my school life. We, I started as a Girl Scout, and then from there, our school had us doing all sorts of things. I was in Junior Optimist Initiative, Joy Club. I
Mhm.
did so many different fundraisers and things. So I've always had that kind of volunteer aspect of my life, and I've kept that going till now. And I'm still obviously doing that, but the political side of it, I really got to say thanks to Jack Sayers. He was in the Page program his junior year. And then the next year,
Mhm.
he went to all of the local schools around him and did a presentation. He walked me through applying, helped me prep for my interview, and
Mhm.
him helping me get into that Page program was a huge, huge, huge thing that helped grow my love of government.
Mhm.
So between the community service, Girls State, and the Page program, kind of just fell in love.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I can definitely relate to that, a little bit because obviously I'm about to go into the program, and it's really great that you've been in through I guess support and like community. You've I guess that's helped you grow your love for civic leadership, and yeah, and I really I think that's really great. You've you've grown through that, and yeah, I think it's really inspiring about to just our community, to just I guess our young people, I guess watching this, just to like I guess learn how to use that to I guess maybe to like I guess learn I guess with like with like support and all that like you can really go a long way with like support from other people.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
get that. Just the support of so many different people. Like, I have cards from people from out
Oh,
of state where they're just saying congrats and that they're looking forward to seeing it, and like how
oh,
seeing someone our age in politics gives them like
yeah, that's
the hope
crazy.
to be able to make change.
Yeah, I know it's really crazy that we're already having like people like our age,
Yeah.
like like being like in office. I think it's really crazy for sure. Yeah. So going off of that, uh, you were elected mayor at 20, right?
Yes, I started running when I was 19,
Oh,
and then by the time elections came around, I had just turned 20. I think I was like 20 in 2 weeks.
oh, yeah, kind of crazy. I turned 18 this year. I'll be 19 next year. So that is that's really crazy. Uh, so going off of that, what pushed you to actually run, and like what did that decision like feel like?
I was asked by our city clerk if I would want to run. I hadn't even thought of it beforehand because that was just something that wasn't in my mind. It wasn't a thought that someone my age could run and maybe even win. And
Hmm.
I didn't even click in my brain that how big of a deal it might have been until about 2 weeks after I was sworn in.
I really feel like, yeah, it's really great. You've been great. You really, encouraging, that like you, took, it's really great that you like took the shot, to like run. And like you basically, I guess, defy kind of like the odds, like, oh yeah, like nobody, like our age is running really. And like, you're like, nope, I mean, I don't care what people say. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run anyway.
Absolutely.
And
I've definitely had some comments that are worried about my age, but I'm hoping to prove them wrong.
yeah. So yeah, so kind of going off of that, tell me about I guess how you prepared for the election. What was it like campaigning? What was the campaign experience like? Doubts, surprises, or moments you just didn't expect? Like what was that? What was that like?
Yeah, so in small towns, the way elections work, you have to petition to be put on the ballot, And to do
Hmm.
that, you need to get signatures of people that like are okay with it. And depending on how large your community is, your town is, your city is, you have to get an equal proportionate number of signatures. So in order to even be put on the ballot, I had to go door knock, talk to people, explain why I think I would be able to be a mayor at my young age and get those signatures, which was most of my like door knocking for that was pretty much the only and like talking I did to random people because everyone in my town knows me. Very small
Yeah.
town, grew up here, literally could just text people, "Hey, I'm running for mayor."
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of being a small town. You can just tell people, you can just tell everyone because yeah, just being a small town, pretty good. Definitely great that you have everyone at your fingertips. That's really it's really great about being a small town because like if you're running for like senator, like mayor, senator, like governor, you can't be doing that.
No.
Yeah, yeah. So like going off of that, what has it been like, I guess, of carrying the title of being I guess, the youngest female mayor in America? Because like I've seen, because like I've looked you up. I've seen that you hold the title of being like the youngest female in American history, which is crazy for someone like your age to be making not well, it may not be as significant like on the news, everyone's talking about it, but but it is very significant. You are, I believe, the youngest female mayor ever in American history. So what does that make? How does that make you feel? Like pressure, pride, responsibility, or like all three?
It is definitely a mix of different emotions. At first, it was just straight up like, this isn't real. Like it didn't click that it was like real. Um, I was just like, oh, I'm just mayor of my small town. Like, I'm just running so that I can like help our town because we really need a mayor. And then people are like asking questions. We're looking it up. It's crazy. All of a sudden, I'm the youngest female mayor in American history. I'm doing interviews. People are stopping me in the stores to say congratulations. And like, that's insane to me. Like, I would never think like if I were to tell my 8-year-old self, "Hey, this is our future," I wouldn't have believed myself. If I were to tell my 19-year-old self, I wouldn't believe myself. But besides that, I have so much pride in myself and the people that helped me get here. It's unbelievable because I just am mind blown that I can make such a big difference with such a small town. Um, and I'm very, very thankful and prideful for everyone I get to work with in this position, and I look forward to working with them in the future.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really it is definitely really crazy that that like yeah you made it this far at such a young age. Uh like nobody else can really say that, and I really bet it really feels great to be I just really feel interesting to be like kind of like the it girl, like everyone like knows, oh yeah, congratulations for being mayor, and like it's like I bet that feels very very interesting and definitely very interesting and very notable.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet it can be very nerve-wracking to be have such a to hold such a historic position at such a young age. I bet that I can definitely f see and feel how that can be really nerve-wracking for sure.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get a sip of water real quick.
Oh no, take your time. You're so good. You're good.
Sorry, I'm trying not to cough because I'm still sick.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Yeah, just yeah, it's really pretty big winter chills. Yeah, definitely I
Yeah.
definitely get it. Yeah. Yeah, so like going just off of that, you talk about how you've everyone's congratulating you when you're in stores and all that. Yeah, so I mean, so I can tell it's a pretty small town. So going off of that, what does leadership look like in a small town of like under 200 people? And like what kinds of decisions are you actually making?
So, in a small town, the mayor's role is mostly mediation and being there and being the face of our city government. The ones that make the majority of the decisions are the city council. but the mayor is there to mediate between city council members and help them reach an adequate decision. As
Mhm.
mayor in small towns, you don't get a vote. You get to talk and like obviously express yourself, but at the end of the day, you don't get a vote unless there's a tie, and
Mhm.
we have a five-person council, so we don't have ties ever. But some of the issues that we're still dealing with, like we just got a new water system and we're still having issues with that. So we'll have people come in and be
Oh.
like, hey, my bill is about $4,000, way too much. What's going on? What can we do about this? And it's the mayor's job to be able to come up with an idea and figure out what's going on, and the city council's idea choice to help make that idea, and then they are the ones that have to propose it and get it fixed, and we have to vote on that type of stuff. So there's that mediation and that idea brain, like coming up with that.
Hmm.
But there's also the aspect of making sure everything is running smoothly, making sure events are being planned, making sure we're able to keep communication within the city working properly, as well as the different jobs. The mayor represents the city for the county, so we go to county meetings. I just went to emergency management meetings. That's the people that deal with heavy snow, tornadoes, floods, all of
Hmm.
that. And we have to talk about what are we going to do when a tornado is nearby? What are we going to do? Like, how can we budget for this? Even like we have to be prepared, and it's about getting ready and being the voice of your community, because that's where my vote comes in. I get to vote on the county-wide, not the city-wide.
Okay. Oh, so you basically like I guess participate and vote in like so like countywide and not necessarily citywide. So like yeah. Is that how it works? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you work with like a with like a mayor pro tem?
Yes. Our mayor pro tem is one of our not clerks, one of our council members. That's
Hmm.
how Henderson has done it. You can do it differently, but that's how my town has done it historically.
Okay.
So our mayor pro tem is an amazing woman. It's her first year on city council, and so far she and
Oh,
I are doing great together. I love working with her. I love working with all my city council members.
no, that's really nice. And yeah. Uh yeah, so like how would you any I think you've kind of touch on this, but like how would you say I guess being mayor of like Henderson, Iowa, like it's a pretty small town. How would you say like when people think mayor, people they're gonna think of big cities like in your state, Des Moines, or like California, Sacramento, San Francisco, like or Miami. Like how is being mayor of like a small town? How is that different from like a big city?
It's way different. In the big cities, being mayor is your full-time job. You are constantly doing things, whereas in small towns, it's not like that. I stop in on some mornings, I'm there for meetings, I go do different things, but I'm not 24/7 in our city council, like our city hall. In big cities, you get paid a lot of money. In
Oh,
Henderson, I thought it was a volunteer position. I get paid $400 a year,
oh,
which mostly
that's
covers
nice.
gas to get to our uh, county meetings.
Oh. Oh yeah, yeah. So definitely see that be mayor of a small town that's more I guess community involved and like more I guess kind of more of like kind of like how you put it like a mediator, kind of like an overseer, kind of making sure everything is like right. It's kind of like it's kind of like a student council in like a high school in a way. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting from that. So like, I think it's definitely very I think definitely small town mayors I guess a good reminder of like what civic service and like what po political service should be. You're serving the people and you're not serving the community. You're serving the community. You're serving the community. You're not you're not serving the politicians. Yeah.
Yes,
That's
that
what
is
I meant to say. That's what
exactly,
I meant to
you're
say.
good. You're good. That is exactly how it works. It's definitely more community based rather than, hey, let me help this specific person. Not saying that the big cities are all, hey, let's do this, because they do help their community in large ways. But with the small towns, I get to know all of our people. I know all of my neighbors. They're all my neighbors because we have like four streets. Um, but the big cities just don't have that opportunity. You can't get to know everyone. So a major part of it is just getting to know the people.
Yeah, definitely. So I know, so like you've definitely done, there's a lot, involved with the community as a mayor of Henderson, Iowa. What's one thing that you've worked on as mayor that you're really proud of? So like a tangible, so you like give like I guess kind of a tangible example of like is there like a tangible example of like service that you've done? So like what's like one thing you've that of that like you're really proud of?
So far, it's only been 29 days, but so
Oh.
far we um have gotten a lot of things planned for summer events. We're working on getting our accessible playground in. I'm
Oh.
hoping to get our water bill digitalized. I would love to not have to walk down to City Hall with my check. Um, yeah, so I got sworn in late December. I took office January 1st.
Hmm.
Um, it's January 29th, 30th, just about. Um, so I've only been in here a little bit. There's not much tangible already completed, but we've got a bunch of things in the works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's nice. So you've only been, mayor of a month. So I guess going off of that, like how has it been? I guess being mayor, for a month because like it's I bet you it's definitely a different experience because like you go for one day you're a college student and now you're a mayor too.
Yeah, it's definitely been, I wouldn't say an uphill battle, but it's definitely been a learning experience. I have definitely learned a lot more than I thought I would need to learn because I thought I was going in thinking I knew a little bit, but it turns out I know about this much compared to about the this much I thought I knew. Um, so it has been that learning experience. There has been bumps in the road, but everyone's still learning. It doesn't matter if you're 18, it doesn't matter if you're 65. You're still learning, and I just want to keep that in mind until I'm done learning, which is going to be the day I die.
Yep, yep, 100%. Yeah, yeah, I can definitely relate to, knowing a lot about politics and like, like I guess like civic service and like, being in the office. I totally relate to that. Like I had that feeling of like, you're like, oh yeah, I know a lot, but like when I look at this stuff and read the news, I'm like, wait, no, I don't know this stuff. So like, yeah, I can tell, definitely a lot to learn. And and we're actually gonna get to that, come back to that pretty soon, towards the end because I definitely want to touch on that for sure. So yeah, so want to shift gears a little bit and kind of talk about more gender, generation, and perspective. So like, what is it like being I guess a young woman in government, and have you felt underestimated or empowered? Like, how has that felt being a young woman in government?
So I have always been taught by like my mother and my dad and my stepdad to, even though I'm a woman, don't let it stop me. I'm the only girl
Hmm.
in the
Yeah.
family. They were
Oh.
mostly saying that about like chores, but I took that to mean real life. Um, so I've always very much been nothing can stop me just because I'm a woman. Nothing can just stop me because of my age. Nothing can stop me if I'm weak. I've always been open-minded and optimistic. I did speech and debate in high school, and one of my speeches quite literally was about women's right to vote. So I
Oh
fear this has
yeah.
been long coming. Um, as for my role within my community and as a mayor and my day job in college, it's definitely been open, like eye opening to see how much of a difference it can be to be a woman, which is
Hmm.
insane. In my opinion, it shouldn't be different because I'm a woman, but it's going to be
Yeah.
what it's going to be. Um, I had a lot of great woman examples working up as a page, and I still remember all of their
Mm.
names. I remember everything they've ever told me, and I hope one day I'm in that position to give another girl the optimism and the hope that she can make a difference.
Yeah, well, that's really powerful, Eva. Just talking about how, you're not gonna, I love that. I love the pride and energy you have, saying, oh yeah, I'm a girl, I'm a woman. I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm going to do what I'm set to do. So, like, I really love that energy and, and you just want to be like, just be there and just being, encouraging the other young women, that are out there, that, they can make a difference too and they can lock in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, going off of that, you're a young woman. So like, does your age? So do you think your age gives you like a different perspective than other leader than older leaders, and where does that show up?
Absolutely. I think personally, if I could make the world magically different in one way, it would be getting at least one person from every generation in their government, in any
Mhm.
government, because each and every generation sees the world differently. Each of us was raised
Oh
differently.
yeah,
Each of us
100%.
has a different perspective of how things are and how they should be. Our generation was the generation where technology was introduced. Like we were
Yeah,
raised with technology. We
yeah.
know technology. The generation below us lives and breathes technology. The generation above us has the wild and carefree life of not having technology.
Oh yeah.
That's just one of the major differences. But so many other things. Every generation has different things that they were raised with, that they understand, that they can integrate into their lives. And it is so important to make that applicable in every aspect of
Oh yeah.
life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You said having every generation, you know, you think that includes Gen Alpha too?
No, they're too little. They
Yeah, yeah.
they're too little.
I was about to say. I was about to say.
I mean
I
every
don't think every
generation
generation.
of legal age.
Yeah, every generation of legal age, 100%. I don't think we need Gen Alpha in yet. I mean, eventually, but like not yet.
I
Give
mean,
give
I
it a little
definitely
time.
don't think my 3-year-old nephew, Gen Beta, should be in government, but
Yeah,
I do think that once you are old enough to be in your government, you should try to be.
100%. Yes. Yeah, and I like what you said about, government should, be more representative of like all ages and all generations. And I 100% agree with that because like, in America, we have everyone from every generation and like what do you call it? All the presidents. We haven't even had a Gen X president yet. Like 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 every single president we've had. The youngest president we've had is Obama, and even he's not Gen X yet. So
That's
like
crazy.
yeah, it is crazy. So like it kind of shows that, we have all these old people in government and like, you know, I'm not like dissing on anyone, but like, I think it's really time to, I guess pass the torch. We definitely love to see that in 2028 for sure.
I would love to see some younger leadership, even if it's like vice president, even if it's more governors that are in
Yeah,
younger leadership.
100%.
Everybody everyone is born with their voice, whether it's a physical voice, sign language, anything. It's our
Mhm.
job as citizens to use that voice to create change and to make our world a better place.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely, it is definitely our job as citizens to really make the world a better place and really just because like we have we have the ability to make changes and I think we need to exercise that right. Yeah. So kind of going off of that, talking about the more youth side of this, what do you think I guess Gen Z gets right and wrong about leadership or politics?
I think Gen Z could stand to learn a little bit more. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
100%.
Gen Z people that are saying, like mayors, some Gen Z are like, this mayor needs to do this, but that might not even be something that a mayor can physically do.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that are like, we should fix our roads. And I'm just like, I would love to do that. You're welcome to bring the idea to the council. I can't propose that idea. I can talk about it. I can try and get one of the council members to propose it, but I can't like I can't introduce that idea. There's
Yeah.
so many different things like that where they're telling certain people, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, but they physically aren't in the position to do this. Use They need to use their voice to be able to talk to the correct people, figure out who those people are, learn about our government, learn about what
Hmm.
each position does and what they can do. But at the same time, Gen Z has been one of the most vocal generations about creating and empowering change.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I would love to see that to continue.
Yeah, it's really it's kind of it is which I kind of find it ironic that while Gen Z is very vocal about change and all that, like we're not really seeing that in politics, and like I feel like that is very ironic. Like it's kind of like insanity. They're like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I think that's kind of funny. And yeah, and also I definitely do think it is very I think it's definitely very important, of understanding what politician can do because people talk about, oh yeah, uh, what like the president raises his taxes. I mean, like the president can't raise taxes. It's the Senate that does that. So I think having
Hmm.
that having that understanding is very important to really, I guess, it's really important to understand what the politicians can and can't do. Because if you don't understand that, that's when your expectations are not going to be met.
Yep. I also think our generation should take a step back, take a deep breath, and understand that while our politicians are trying to make change, if they're unable to make change, they're working in with a bunch of different people. It's not just
Oh
that
yeah.
one specific politician. So sometimes we have to take things with a little bit of a grain of salt. Obviously, I'm not saying that about things that are obvious that need change, but some of the smaller things, our politicians might fight tooth and nail for them, but at the end of the day, our politicians are not the only ones that are making that change.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely need a. I think definitely you're right. People aren't. The president isn't just making choices because like he wants to. He has advisors with him, and just and I mean, I was not the president, but like also senators, and they all had these people that they had to like work for and please. So like, there's like a lot
Mm-hmm.
going into it for sure. So, yeah, going off of that, do you think young people fully realize how much civic decisions affect them?
Not at all. Not
Oh
at
yeah.
all. I know I didn't. I didn't understand it. One of the biggest ones that people have talked about for years, gas prices. That one's a huge one. I remember my dad vividly when I was younger complaining, and he's just like, "This is going to affect you." And I'm just like, "I'm 8. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
But just jokes aside, I feel like everyone could stand to learn a little bit more, use their resources, understand what is going on in their world, because even if
Mhm.
it's at a wow, even if it's at a national level, it still affects you. Even if it's at a local level, it's going to affect you, even if you don't
Oh
think it
yeah.
will.
Oh, 100%. Like I think us as as young people and really anyone in general needs to know that like it's really like it's not just like the people in Washington that affect us. It is the people in like your city and like your state. That's like that matters too. And even me, I honestly forget that. And honestly for me, I could be more involved in my city than I should be. I should be definitely more involved, and I think it's really important that us as as a young citizen should really be involved in all forms of government. So yeah, so I guess going off of that, um, what would you I guess tell the adults about engaging young people better?
I think it is one of the most important things that adults can do for the younger generations,
Yes.
even if it's something as simple as explaining what a mayor does, what city council does, explaining like having schools having the student councils. That is important because it introduces kids at such a young age to being a part of their community, even if it's not government, like getting kids the opportunities to learn, even if they don't want to pay attention to it, not giving up on them because there's going to be that one student out of every 100 that wants to learn, that wants to make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Definitely, really, kind of building off of that, just making sure that people, I guess, are learning in a way that like kind of makes sense to them. Because like, if you shove them down like 7,000 textbooks, they're not gonna care. They want to
Mm-hmm.
like learn in a way that makes them think, oh dang, this really matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like gotta lock in. This is relevant to me. So
Absolutely.
so yeah. I guess I guess going off of that, we've kind of talked about a lot. So like, is there like anything? So is there like I guess anything that I guess anything that I guess is meaningful to you and like that you would want to like discuss?
My favorite quote, I guess. Neil Armstrong reworded the quote. It used to be shoot for the moon to shoot for the stars. Even if you miss, you'll still land on the moon. Even if it seems out of this world, try. That is my
Mhm.
favorite quote, and I
Oh
want
yeah.
as many people that are willing to live by it. Even if you think an idea is absolutely crazy, just give it a shot. The worst that can happen is you fail. And even when you fail,
Exactly.
you still learn a lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you like it's really I like also also common quote. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
Yep,
for sure you really want you definitely really need to take all the shots you can take because I mean obviously within reasons, but even then, you definitely really like people say it's crazy and just because it's crazy does not mean uh like it's not possible and like a lot of people do have said oh yeah this is not gonna happen and it happens so like I really think that a lot of people really need to be more confident in just taking up in just taking a shot and just really being able to like how do I say this like really being able to like get their head in the game and just lock in because really you never know where some crazy idea is going to lead you to.
absolutely.
Yeah. So kind of going off of your leadership, you definitely you've been in leadership for as mayor for a month. Oh, by the way, how long is your term?
We do 2-year terms, and we do election years are the odd years.
Okay, so you'd be up in 2027, right?
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So going off of that, going off your leadership and all that, so like what values I guess guide how you lead and like make decisions?
Definitely. Are we talking one word values? Um,
Uh I mean, yeah, but like one word but like expand on them, if you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
No, you're good. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Um, I would definitely say open-minded, being open to what other people are going to say, being open to new ideas. I'd
Hmm.
also say helpfulness and kindness goes a long way.
Oh
Just
yeah, for sure.
being able to think, hey, this person is being rude. This person's being absolutely deplorable. What could be going on behind closed doors that I don't know about that could make this person act this way? That's how I
Oh
take
yeah.
everything. I always try and take it with a grain of salt. I always try to think, hey, maybe this person's being mean to me because they're having a really, really bad day and their temper's just
Hmm.
really short. So
Hmm.
being able to take what people say to you, what people say about you, with a little bit of a grain of salt definitely is one of my values.
Yeah. I really admire about that about you, Eva. You're really, yeah, I guess it kind of shows how I guess empathetic you are and like with other people, and I think that's very important, for young leaders to have, and like, it kind of shows about who you are as a person. If I was in, if we went to high school together, it would have been nice to like know you. You know what I mean? Have someone who's really empathetic.
Almost. I'm
Almost,
pretty sure
almost.
you would have been a freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is insane for sure. Yeah, but like I said, that listening and empathy is what we need, in what we need more of that in America is just people to just listen and really emphasize because like that is really, really important in America.
Yep. As a teacher, even like one of my favorite quotes that someone told me when I went into teaching for my program, bullied people bully people. Like I said, taking everything with a grain of salt, just that quote really stuck with
Oh
me.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So you know, going off of that, you definitely seem to have like a well-seasoned, valued life, and definitely really been like a lot. You definitely have overcome a lot. You've definitely done a lot for sure. But I wanted to ask, focus on the resilience part of it. What has been your biggest challenge so far, and how did you handle it and overcome it?
I have had quite a few challenges. I don't really talk about most of them because most of them are in my private life.
Okay.
I was bullied all through school, like second grade through senior year. There were people that didn't like me. That's how I got so resilient, like you said. I've had family issues. My mom and dad got divorced when I was young. That was
Oh,
a huge battle growing up. There's so many different things I could talk about. My stepdad died a year ago-ish now. There's so many different things. I've had health
mm,
issues, all of that, and it's just made
mhm.
me more open-minded to what
Yeah.
people could be going through. Because if people had taken that chance with me, I need to make sure I give that chance to others.
Yeah, well, I'm really sorry to hear, your stepdad died. That's really sad. Yeah, I would, yeah, I would just say, yeah, I can definitely, I just kind of relate to that. It's and like, I'm obviously not I'm trying to, spill how to
No, you're good, darling.
I'm
Don't
not
worry
trying to
about
have you,
it.
yeah, I'm not trying to have you like spill all your tea, because I just want to like, I'm just really glad to hear that, you're really, this really, I said it's like you really have learned a lot and like all these past experiences they can be hard but like you really do you really do come out in these situations being a better person even though it's hard because I can really
Absolutely.
tell I can really tell how you Eva are just really strong and resilient for
Absolutely. One of
sure.
my favorite things I ever learned was free will. Um, I was right, I moved out at 18 so I could go do the page program. That was hours away from my house, so I had to get my own apartment. I
Oh.
was stressed out. Everything was terrifying. I
Mm.
cleared out my living room. I had solid wood, like, I got wood floors that you can mop. I took an entire carton of eggs and I smashed all of them on the ground. So that free
Oh
will
my
really
gosh.
really came in handy. So just like knowing that there's different ways to handle things was one of the biggest lessons I learned.
Absolutely, 100%. Definitely is a lot of different ways to handle things. And yeah, I can tell, I guess growing up as a young leader, definitely very hard to like adapt and like try to move, far away from your hometown. That I bet you I can see how much of a big step that was for you.
Yeah, it was kind of terrifying, but it got me here and I learned from it.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy that you learned from that and like like I said, it really is all those like those small challenges that really help us, I guess, grow into the person that we are destined to become.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So going off of that, might want to touch on this a little bit, but like, what issues matter most to you right now, and why? So they can be local, personal, or forward-looking.
There are so many different things that have been a huge impact on my life that I want to continue with. Like we've already talked about, I'm huge on community service, being involved,
Oh
getting
yeah,
others to be involved, getting people into government, getting kids into government, getting
yeah,
adults into government, getting young
hmm
adults into government.
oh yeah,
That's another huge issue that I would love to see. I'm not going to touch too much on the political aspect of it because this is a nonpartisan position.
oh yeah,
Um, but if in the future I decide to run for something, I will definitely touch on those more political issues. But there are some very basic issues that I feel very strongly about. Um,
hmm
I'm a teacher. I love our education. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. But like
oh
I
yeah.
said, political wise, I just don't want to get into it.
Yeah, for sure. And like this is a nonpartisan podcast, so the goal is to definitely make sure that we're like staying within the lens of a nonpartisanship, and we're not trying to endorse any candidate or political figure. So that's what I really obviously I'm not pressuring you to like sharing
No,
and
you're good.
definitely yeah. But like I could definitely but I think it definitely shows that like there's more to politics than like the drama behind all the drama that we see on television. It is definitely more. There's definitely more to that. There's actual service involved. As for me, I also have to work on being more of a servant-hearted person. I personally I believe that is definitely the best thing you can do is to just serve your community. I really do believe that's like one of the best things you can do for sure.
There are so many different ways you can serve your community too. Like so many different ways. And even if you don't think there's ways that you can serve, I guarantee you there is. Um, if people need help finding things, they are welcome to contact Henderson, Iowa, and I will help them find things.
Oh yeah, yeah. So. Yeah, going off of that, you've definitely been through a lot. You definitely have come a long way for sure, especially at your age. So like, what advice would you give to young people, especially young women who want to lead?
Try, try until you can't try anymore. Use your voice, be loud. It doesn't matter if someone tells you to be quiet, don't listen. And win, because everyone does it. Someone says to smile more,
Oh
laugh in their
yeah.
face.
Oh yeah.
I've
Yeah.
definitely gotten that comment a few times, and it just makes me laugh because of how stereotypical it is.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Definitely trying is really, really important to like make sure you're trying, you're locking in, you're really, just doing really, I guess, yeah, I think trying is the most important thing because like, doing your best is like that's really all you can do. And I think everybody should try to be the best version that they can be.
Yep. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. So to close out here, as we end this podcast, as episode, do you think we, as young people, are aware enough about the political and economic state of America and the world? Are we aware of laws affecting us? Why or why not?
Like we touched on earlier, I genuinely think people could be way more informed than they
Oh yeah.
are. There are some people, I'm not going to say that there's not anybody out there, but there are definitely some people that are into it, they understand it, they're willing to share it. We need to make that percentage from down here up to here. The
Oh
more
yeah.
people that we get involved, the more people that we get to have an understanding, the better they will be able to help our community and our country and our planet.
Oh, 100%. So, if you could tell adults one thing about our youth in politics, what would it be? Because like we had, cause, and we've definitely touched on this a little earlier, but just to just really figure just know like how to motivate our youth. Like, what would you say, knowing how we are as a generation? What is what should adults know about that and our engagement in politics and civics?
It seems terrifying. It seems scary. It seems like you don't have that option,
Yeah.
but you 100% do.
Hmm.
You are able to call your representatives and your senators and talk to your mayor and your council members. You're able to send mail to the president.
Yeah.
Use your voice, use your resources. There are so many resources. One of our laws in America is that all meetings have to be open to the public. And at least for Iowa, all of our meetings are open to the public. There's videos of them, there's live streams. You are able to join those for any meeting. You're able to join those when they talk about any laws they want to implement. Heck, you're able to walk down to, if you're close enough, you're able to go down to your state capitol and you can go and you can request the bill's drafts. Anybody can request a bill draft. You
Oh
are
wow.
able to take that. If you know where the resources are, you're able to learn, you're able to understand.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually had the honor of being able to oversee see a what's it called? Oversee I think it was a Senate or House session in
Mm-hmm.
Raleigh about some certain topics, and I really I really learned a lot from that experience. And I definitely was definitely an experience. Walking and watching that. I saw people talking. I saw people protesting too. So like
Yes,
it was really it was really funny to see that, and definitely definitely a different experience for sure. But yeah, well, thank you so much for being on here, Eva. Definitely a great to have you on here, and I really learned a lot from you. I learned a lot about how service about generation, about like how you like stepped up to be like one of the youngest leaders in America, and I really appreciate your insight and time. And yeah, thank you so much for being on here.
absolutely. If you ever want to talk again, just let me know.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in into the podcast. If you're new, please drop a follow, and yeah, we'll see you on the next episode.